Hi guys, Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How's it going today? Happy Black History Month. We're having so much fun, guys. That was Porgy and Bess, the overture, by the way. Porgy and Bess was an American written opera by composer George Gershwin. 1935, libretto by a French gentleman who was also African. It was the first time in opera that they had classically trained African-American actors and singers. It's one of my most favorite operas of all time, and George Gershwin is an amazing composer. So that's what I wanted to give you guys for Black History today, Black History Month. Kicking off Black History Month and Black Excellence is what we're talking about. I'm here with Fattah Muhammad. Fattah.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the Tommy Nation Politics. Welcome back to Tommy Nation Politics.
Well, it is good to be back.
Yeah, how you having a good you had a Super Bowl, right? How was the Super Bowl? Did you watch it?
I watched a little bit of it while I was at work.
Who won, the Cowboys or the Packers?
I think it was the Bears. No, the Chiefs got spanked.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I wasn't. I'm really not a big football person, but Mahomes is probably one of the greatest quarterbacks at this time, and his team lost. Bad.
Really?
Yeah. So
meanwhile, Tom Brady, I hear who's a Trump supporter, got his seventh championship.
Yeah, he's been putting in a lot of work, Mr. Brady.
He's like COVID; he won't go away.
Well, he's a dynamic quarterback. He got a real good team behind him this year, and congratulations to him.
Yeah, congratulations to the victors.
Sure.
May the odds be ever in your favor.
Yes, forever.
So something else that won't go away, Fattah, is racism.
Mm.
Even in Black History Month, with the Democrats having the House, the Senate, the presidency, beckoning and pushing the doors open for racial equity and equality. It seems like the liberals seem to now have the Trump card, so to speak. And you're using that to push racial equality ?
Yeah.
All I see from the liberals right now is little memes like, why are you acting white? Are you afraid? Are you ashamed of who you are? Do you know how many times I've been called a coon last month alone?
How many times have they been called a coon?
That's all I get, Fattah. All I get in my email. Is angry black people telling me not to be a coon, to go lockstep with the Democratic Party, and to not ask questions. And is that the way to be a smart, intelligent African American? I don't know. What do you think about all that?
Well, expressing yourself in a time of great censorship, it takes a lot of courage. And when you say anything just against what the common thought is amongst our people or the mainstream, be ready to get called all kind of names. All of the names that black people can call you, get ready to get called.
I know. It's like, it's like, yeah, the most hate I get is from my own people. And then like backing it up, the neoliberals, they kind of usher that in with I had this one guy, he was telling people, stop acting white because nothing comes from that except, you're not white. So you can't ever accomplish what a white man can accomplish, right? It's pretty much, isn't that the message inside of Don't Act White?
Well, it's a sad message. It's a very sad message because you're not, at the root of it, it says you're not going to accomplish anything.
Right.
And that's what's sad is, white people, don't be like white people. And white people are some of the most successful people on the planet right now.
Right.
Why wouldn't you want to be like? Why wouldn't you want to be successful?
Well, because I think the caveat that the neoliberals and the plantation is trying to put in is that if we try to be the white man and we're not the white man, we fail because we're not being true to who we are. And who we are a bunch of dumb, non-belt wearing, slow speaking idiots who just go along with everything the Democratic Party wants. That's what we are. That's who we are. So if we're not that, then we're acting white, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know. There's so many ways to analyze that shit, really.
Well, I think it is a very unfortunate commentary on our ability, some people's ability to rebuttal with intelligence. There's, name calling is one of the weakest things somebody can do to a person that they disagree with.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, all it does is add more fuel to the fire, and it doesn't prove anything in the end of any discussion.
I mean, it does get your opponent kind of like unguarded, or it's shaken, especially if you hit him with the right name. Like coon, I'll have to admit to you, coon does bother me.
But why?
I don't know. I just don't like raccoons personally. Okay,
Yeah.
they're kind of creepy. They come out in the dark, the eyes glow and shit. They're eating my trash. Very jumpy. So when I think of a coon, it makes me guarded, bro. They call me.
Historically, when black people use coon, it's very much like the word nigger.
Yeah, it is.
It was used. Black people used to get called nigger by white people, and white people used to call black people coons.
Yeah.
Now black people do it. The people who say it are being just like the white man. It's a funny thing, because to call somebody a coon, and I would even ask the people who say it, what is a coon? Like, how are you using it? What does it mean to you? And the general acceptance is that you're a black person trying to be white. And that only really makes sense under one condition.
What?
I remember I have a family member. This is probably, and this wouldn't necessarily make you a coon, what I'm about to explain. But what it does is, it does show what happens to black people when we are among not our own, if so to speak. And you see someone like Al Roker. Oh, this is the news, and this is your neck of the woods.
Right.
See him on the day off. Hi, I'm Al Roker.
Right.
Right. You have to change your voice inflection.
Yeah. So because not to be threatening, right?
Yeah.
Because if you had a deep voice, who knows?
That's right.
Yeah. Isn't that weird how in this society we're always constantly trying to change? Trying to change everything about us to not be threatening.
Yeah, that's right.
Everyone. That's our goal. It's like our goal. To the police, yes sir, no sir. Don't respect authority. Make sure you put your hands on the wheel. Make sure you have the driver's license out. When you're walking on the sidewalk, like I purposely do this myself, Fattah, and subconsciously, when I see a white woman walking, I will subconsciously go the other way, just so she doesn't feel threatened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
It's weird. I feel myself doing that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want you to be threatened by me. You might call the police on me or something like that. I'm just going to go ahead and avoid you.
Well, Mr. Muhammad told us that we should study the operations of the white man, because they have basically made a world wherein they have made a world for themselves, and they make every other people cater to them.
Right.
And that comes with paying the cost to be the boss. It's something that we should study. I think it's something that we should accept as a reality, because really that's what happened. That's what's happened to us. I understand it. I'm walking down the street, and the last thing you hope is for, I remember one time we were in New Hampshire, and I was waiting on a package to come, and the person and the UPS guy delivered it to the wrong apartment. So here's this big, tall black man going from apartment to apartment looking at people's mail.
And
it's like,
that's dangerous.
I was like, how does this look?
Yeah.
Now, once it's reality, how does it look?
Yeah. And isn't it funny? They always want to, the neoliberals right now, they always want to tell me how to be black. Do they have any idea what it's like to actually think about how it looks to go from apartment to apartment? They don't at all. They don't think about shit like that at all. They've never had to think about it at all. And yet they, and by the way, I do not agree with Candace Owens ever. But, I'm starting to begin to agree with her about some things. We've come together on, the Wall Street Reddit debacle.
Right.
All of us Americans are being robbed by the Democrats and Republicans. Okay. And we're starting to, the free thinking and smart intellectual people are starting to realize that and start to unite. Meanwhile, you have the neoliberals attacking her at every turn, bro. Because she doesn't, first of all, they do not like her to begin with, bro. Because she doesn't like them, okay? They've had a little this. So even if she's right, she's clueless. This is what I'm seeing right now. She's clueless. She's a puppet. She's a monkey. All these things. She's not in charge of it, okay? Someone else is pulling her strings. Because how can an intelligent black woman think for herself?
Yeah.
She can't, right? There's got to be someone pulling the strings. This is what the neoliberals are saying. It's disgusting, okay? Yeah. So I'm letting everyone know right now who's watching. I'm tired of that shit. And I don't agree with anything Candace Owens says most of the time.
Yeah.
But I'm defending her from now on, okay? Because you guys I've had enough of you guys with her.
Yeah.
Leave her alone.
Candace Owens has, that she was one time a liberal. She's very open and honest about it. And, right around the time former President Trump was elected, he struck such a chord and the tide was turning. He represented like a turn of the tide, if you will, because of who was behind him.
Right.
And
that's another phenomenon. We should explore that. But go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
But she's a very intelligent black woman.
Yeah.
She's a very intelligent black woman. She's a lot of the points that she makes about the condition that black people are in, which is where she gets a lot of flack about, at least a lot from blacks and liberals in particular. It's as though she's speaking or not being honest about black life. And any black person that I've noticed, or any other person who wants to give black people a standard to raise ourselves up by, they're called all kind of names.
Right.
Anything that keeps us away from putting responsibility on making our own lives better.
Right.
Black people like that are talked about.
I agree. What do you think about this from Kanye West? I'm going to show a clip right now, just a little one. Okay.
My father's a Black Panther. My mother got arrested for the sit-ins at age 6. They were fighting for us to have the right to our opinion, not the right to vote for whoever the white liberals said black people are supposed to vote for. You get what I'm saying? And then James Corden went in and said, well, this president, you're Christian, and this president, I don't see anything Christian about him. I said, okay, so last year y'all tried to tell me who I'm supposed to vote for because I'm black. Now this year, white liberals trying to tell me who I'm supposed to vote for because I'm Christian. That would be like, I live in Calabasas, so everyone in my car's got to be a convertible, huh? Right. It's just all based on y'all vision of what I'm supposed to do.
So I think that's what you're saying, Fattah. I think that's what you're saying, right? It's all about who the boss is and their vision of what we're supposed to be doing.
Right. If you're in that arena, if you care,
you care. Like, how can you not care and be successful though?
It's very like I can tell you, like it almost makes sense not to care.
Really?
Because, shout out to Kanye West. He's a very good example of a man he's an intelligent man. He's successful financially and in other endeavors in music. And he sees what happens when you say something that most people don't like. He's had to catch it from several aspects of global communities.
Right.
You see, so when you are at that level where he is, and the resources that he has at his disposal, and has the ear of the world, you begin to not care what people say, because no matter what you say, it really doesn't matter what you say, how you say it, someone's going to be upset. And you don't want to lose.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
Isn't that the truth, bro?
Someone's going to be upset. You know, and when it comes to politics, because it is such a it's an arena, a blood sport where different views are going to be put against the other. And so
Right.
caring about it in a sense of, no, I'm not talking about not being involved politically. That's different from what I'm saying. What I'm saying is concerning like your well-being with what people say. Like either I'm gonna go to sleep or I'm gonna listen to what these cats are gonna say about me.
I mean, yeah, you got the point.
know
You
what
got that
I'm
point there. You got
Yeah.
that point there. I mean, if I went into my email and was concerned about anything these people said, I wouldn't sleep at all, bro.
Yeah.
So I understand that shit.
Yeah, you are 100% right, man.
So it's funny.
Yeah.
It's just so funny. So Black Lives Matter has been trying to get a meeting with Joe Biden since he got inaugurated. He won't talk to them at all. But Kamala Harris is there to be the face of she's the first vice president female and woman,
right,
and a black and an Indian.
Yeah.
So hey, look, fat, what more do you want? Look, buddy, here's the deal, buddy. I gave you what you wanted. This is what you wanted, right? Look, fat. So I guess we're fine, right? I guess he doesn't need to meet with Black Lives Matter. I guess he doesn't. The disingenuosity of the fucking Democratic Party, bro. This is what I was talking about with you the last time we were having a conversation, bro.
Yeah. I do recall.
I knew this was gonna happen.
Yeah.
I knew it. So what do you think now? What do you changed your mind about anything? You said, I remember you said that Kamala Harris was the best pick. She's the most logical pick.
Yeah.
I don't dispute that. But what do you think about all this now?
Well, I think that, politics is what politics is about. Like when you have a man like President Biden, who represents a segment of the liberal or Democratic community, and then you look at Miss Vice President Kamala Harris, her record speaks for itself.
Yes, it does.
Highly involved in prosecuting. I mean, that is what his, President Biden's political history, at least as it concerns criminal justice.
Right.
That makes the most sense to me.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I don't necessarily see anything wrong with it because I know that they have a job to do.
I mean, but the way they got into office was railing for racial equality and putting things right. And here you have a guy with his black woman vice president who literally had 42 executive orders signed on the first week of his presidency. None of them were for legalizing marijuana. None of them were for pardoning all felony drug offenders.
Right.
None of them were for undoing all the damage he did in the 1990s. So I'm just saying, you're right. Okay, I can't dispute what you're saying because it's true and it's logical.
Right.
What you're saying is that this is the path that he's been on forever. So
I mean, how much money would be lost? If
is that important? I guess this is important. Is that supposed to be important to the left wing? No, not really.
Well,
not.
For
the right wing, yes. Not left wing.
I mean, exactly. Exactly. You see, like once you look at, that's what is said.
Right.
That this should not be important, but it's obviously very important. I mean, and shame on you if you believed it's not important.
I mean, I guess is it important? And the money, where is it going? It's going to corrupt our system even more. That's where this money is going for the prison industry.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
It's a lot of money, man. That's a big industry in the United States.
Yeah, I mean, it's so big that Kamala made people stay even after their sentences to do cheap labor in California. That's a big industry, and it's slavery, and it's wrong. And there was a lot of money in cotton too. I don't understand. Okay, so this is the point. Is I'm like, so then what? Like, okay, and like, what the fuck?
Best we can do is make sure we don't get in there.
I guess.
Because
is that the best? That's the best
Yeah,
we
I
can do.
mean, it's really is it is what it is, because politics is ran by those who are present,
Yeah.
or those who involve themselves. I do believe that the Democratic Party has done an interesting job at getting people who are standard bearers that really touch the heartstrings of the greater population. I mean, they did it with former President Obama, number 44.
Right.
I remember that, man. I was graduating college at that time, and he lit the world up.
He lit me up. He lit me up. He lit my world up.
Man, I'm telling
He
you,
was saying all the right things, Fattah. All the right things.
that's what they're supposed to do.
Oh my God.
I mean, he really touched everybody's soul, man.
But that's like a drug. It's like a drug thing, though,
Yeah,
because you're so high, you're so lit by his words.
yeah.
And then he gets into office, and then you feel the fucking come down.
Well, you know, I realistically, what else could we expect? We couldn't. I know. I remember, as I recall. See, at this time in 2008, I was already the type of person who I really didn't look to political figures for inspiration.
That's probably good for you.
You know, so regardless of who is in there, I'm always going to be. I'm going to listen to what you have to say.
Mhm.
When former President Obama began making his attempt or campaigning, man, I had never seen that much political involvement in my time.
Yeah, it was a coalition, bro.
Right.
All kinds. They called it a rainbow coalition.
Yeah.
Talked about it in the primaries.
Yeah.
Everybody coveted it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody coveted that fucking shit.
Yeah.
They were talking about who was going to put together Obama's rainbow coalition again.
That's right.
Who's going to bring that back?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, Joe Biden got 11 million more votes than Barack Obama. They say. I know but see, that's one of the things that made all the Trump people go, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
I see what you're saying.
I don't think so, bro. this guy from Delaware who likes to ride the trains.
Well, you know,
I think 11 million more votes.
Yeah.
Maybe there's 11 million more people. Maybe that's what happened. I don't know.
And a lot of listen, these last 12 years, at least 2008, 13 years, have been something of an anomaly to me, because Barack Obama, his double term, and then former President Trump, it really showed how people can get excited.
Right.
Get you up. And then black people got upset about Obama.
Right.
And now what we're seeing what happened with black people saying things about Obama. We're now going to witness the next 4+ years of conservatives saying whatever they have to say about former President Trump.
Right.
See, so
interesting. That's an interesting take.
Just,
well, so far, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's just interesting to look at. It's interesting to see how you can be so excited at one time, and then the next thing you know it, you're talking about the very person that you said that you love.
I know. It's like a relationship.
That's right. It's like a relationship, and most of relationships I say is, don't talk about the person that you're in a relationship with to people that really matter.
Yeah.
Because you can say it to people you don't really give a shit about, like, oh, what problems you and your mate have. You know, I won't tell my mom how I feel about Jennifer.
Yeah.
None of her fucking business.
Besides, moms, you don't need to talk about that because they will never let it go. My mom will not let anything go. One time I wore some pants she didn't like. She got a freaking Land's End catalog out. She started ordering stuff for me. I'm like, Mom, leave me alone. I can buy my own pants, Mom.
Yeah. A Caucasian man did that to me at work one time. He asked me about Obama. What do you think about Obama? I said, I think Obama was the best president we ever had. Because it's really not about, I'm going to respect who's in the presidency, regardless.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about Barack Obama because he is a G. He married a woman who's from Old Block in Chicago. I can't talk about Barack Obama like that. Why? Because there's a lot of people were behind him. You see, and so that's what happens particularly with us. See, you'll never see the LGBT community talk against other LGBT LG.
I don't know.
LGBT.
See, now it's a rocky time, and it's a rocky time with Candace Owens. You could talk bad about Candace Owens, though, can't you?
Yeah.
Call her a coon and shit. When Ellen didn't get too woke, when Ellen didn't get woke enough, and her show got canceled, you saw all kinds of people talking shit about her, and that were gay. It's like, is that's how the liberal atmosphere operates? Is if you're bleeding, then they can go in to kill you.
Right.
But if you're powerful enough, you know, and you're gay or black, nothing can touch you. But if you're bleeding, then you're a sick antelope.
Yeah.
And you're, it's over, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
Over for you.
and I haven't, as of yet, I haven't heard too many people that I know personally who I knew supported former President Trump have said anything negative about him.
I know.
And
Correct. You're right.
will.
I mean, he's got the same hold on the Republican Party as Barack Obama had on the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
They're both very they are the face of the party. They're the party leaders. And Trump is still the party leader of the Republicans. Marjorie Taylor Greene said that the party is still his, her quote.
Yeah.
So they still look to him, even though he's about to go to trial in the Senate. I don't know if you knew about that.
I heard about that, man.
I don't know. They want him to testify. This is going to be the first time in our history that it's actually gone this far. The impeachments.
It's obvious that his story is still being written.
Yeah.
He
pissed him off a lot.
Say, huh?
I have no choice but to give him some props and respect because he has pissed the establishment off more than anyone could possibly have. This guy has pissed them off so much. They hate him so much, man. It's amazing. It makes me just go, I mean, I don't agree with his policies a lot, but just to see them try to wreck him, try to get him not to run again.
Yeah,
it's so interesting.
But I think, but you make a real good point. And see, when you like his policies, what are his I mean, anybody who's a president is the standard bearer for the party that elected him.
Right.
So separating Donald J. Trump, the man, from the president office, see, that office is his official capacity, commander in chief, and that he has a nation to represent. So what he believes personally and what the Republican standard is, what he says in office is not going to be too far away from what the standard is.
Right.
Because that's what he's there to do. He's there to play a role as the number one citizen in the United States, the leader of the United citizen, and the head. What is the commander?
Head of state.
Yeah, head of state.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the things that Barack Obama and Donald Trump did do as well is they kind of changed the platform of the entire Republican and Democratic Party.
Yes.
Like, how in George W. Bush's time, the Democratic Party was for peace, getting out of the wars. Barack Obama expanded the wars from 2 to 7, changed the platform completely. He made health insurance, companies benefit off of his Obamacare program. He kind of inserted the Democratic Party into the centralized banking system, Wall Street, financial sector that the Republicans had kind of a foothold on. And then Donald Trump, he literally kind of just like changed that, the Republicans, to like, the $2,000 stimulus checks. Who was the first guy?
Right.
You think Republicans would have ever asked for $2,000 stimulus checks firstly?
Wow.
No.
Point.
No. Donald Trump was the first Republican president that would have ever asked the people to have $2,000 stimulus checks.
Yeah, I see what, but you make a real good point, because state assistants, they've done studies where they found out which, if you was to poll, this is because this is very much like, Black people, we get looked upon for being welfare recipients,
right?
But we are, because we just don't really have the numbers to say there's more Black people on getting assistance. But there's all different types of assistance regardless to what your economic class is.
Correct.
And then to see a standard bearer for the Republican Party advocating heavily for bailouts like this,
Yeah.
or government assistance like this, you know, what you're saying is true. Things are changing. We are witnessing a definite change of which party was stood for this, what the Democratic Party stood for, as opposed to what the Republican Party stood for. And I really believe things are changing. But I think it's leading to something, though. I think it's leading to an understanding as, you know, things start to come together and change sides. It's like you're watching the two parties change sides.
Right.
And something is going to form as a result of that, you know?
I hope what forms is we all get our pitchforks out and destroy these two. And I know I would just love us all to just unite. You know, why don't we kill these guys? Hypothetically.
Well, you know, changing, it's very difficult. This two-party system it's been here for a while. Changing it is going to take something drastic.
I mean, what's more drastic than this fucking COVID pandemic? What is more drastic than this thing? Hey, this has been an interesting journey. I mean, they didn't know what to do. My mom and I were having this conversation earlier. You know, she's of the baby boomer class. You know, the baby boomers, they didn't have to be in debt with college. They didn't have to. They had 2.5 kids, right? The 2-car garages, the dog named Rex, the Coca-Cola, the jobs in the factory. They paid pensions and retirement, 401ks. All that's gone. Okay. All of it's gone because of the banks at Wall Street. So now, but she has this mentality where they didn't do all this. This was an accident. They didn't mean to do this. They had good intentions, but you see, they didn't know what they were doing. You know, when the pandemic hit, they just didn't know what to do. So they told everybody to stay home. They put us on enhanced unemployment for 2 months. Then they pushed everyone out and said, get back to work. We got a vaccine on the way, you sluts. Get back to work. Push us out there. Nobody in the restaurants. Nobody in the salons. Nobody in the malls. Nobody. Everyone's on Amazon.
Right.
How do we make money? We don't. They pushed us off a cliff. My mom thinks it's all by accident. No. Right. I don't think it was all by accident. I think they're robbing us. That's what I think.
I see what you mean. You know, when you say they're what do you mean?
I think that I've already told you, Fattah. March 11th. I know these dates because they were such a slap in my face. March 11th, bro, came around and the banks and the Wall Street. 48 hours, bro. It's reported in the New York Times. They fucking gave them $2 trillion before they even did anything else. And my mom was like, oh, well, they just think, you know, because if the banks fail, then everything fails. Well, do they? And why do they think that? Why do they think that if the banks fail, everything fails? Maybe it's because their banks are paying their campaign finance contributions. So the banks made them think that.
Yeah.
Everything is a lie. And the boomers don't seem to realize that, honestly.
Well, you know, banks, you know, what this has done, another thing I see that has happened is people are beginning to want to go for themselves. People want to form their own brand. People want to do their own thing. They want to employ themselves. And this is a beautiful thing. It's a thing because it's making us, not only did marriages go up, marriages went up as a result of this. Families got put back together because like when at Olive Garden in New Hampshire, when I got furloughed, you know, that was the first time in several years that we all sat down at the table and had dinner.
Yes, that's true.
And that's just from working at night.
I mean, I'm not saying that there weren't good parts.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the enhanced unemployment till they completely dropped it and told us to get back to work. Meanwhile, the banks get trillions of dollars. See, this is my thing too, is that I feel, and maybe I'm alone, but the founding fathers who talked of a birthright, you know, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. We're the wealthiest country, the richest country on the face of planet Earth. And all of the banks are getting trillions. Wall Street's getting trillions. We get $600. You're grateful for that, maybe. I want what I deserve as an American who's part of the richest country on the face of planet Earth.
Right.
And I know I'm getting fucked over. And I know we're being treated like nothing.
Mhm.
You know, Joe Biden said we're all getting $2,000 checks out the door day one. Look, buddy, I'm gonna tell you. Okay, day one passed, day two passed, day three passed, day
Right.
4 passed, day 5 passed, and then day 6 came. $1,400.
Mhm.
That's what they said after day 6.
Yeah.
$2,000 checks. Those aren't the droids you're looking for. I didn't say that. You must have heard something else. That's a horse of a different color. They treat us like we're fucking morons. Like we're so dumb that we can't. We didn't, with our dumb ears, we didn't hear $2,000. So maybe I'm just really angry at the fact that they're treating us like dumb fuckers.
Well, you know, you have what you're saying is valid. You know, you're a person who's, you know, wide awake. You see what's happening.
Like they really are though. It's just like how many times do you want to slap us in the face first? Like,
you know, but one of the most difficult things to do is to wake up. I'll never forget this, Tommy.
What?
I had just I was probably about a year and a half into the Nation of Islam.
Yeah.
And you know, we sell on the newspapers out on the corners. I was in San Antonio, and I have the paper, and I'm wanting to give the paper to the people who want to buy it. And I'll never forget this black car rolls up, pitch black windows, tinted, rolls down, and it was a very pale white woman with these black glasses on. And she put her head out the window. She says, "Hard to wake them up, ain't it?" That shit froze me, man.
Yeah.
Hard to wake them up, ain't it? Now, yes, true. It's true. Trying to wake up the people who are asleep, steeped in who are ignorant to the powers that be. It's a very difficult job. I think you live in a real good time though, because the medium of information is moving faster. People have time to sit on their ass now and listen to stuff finally, and to get involved.
Yeah.
To really see a lot of the deception that's taking place. Because what you're saying is true. Deception, it's all over the place, man. Like,
yeah, everything you know is a deception. It's like it's a slave nation.
Yeah,
we're literally just accepting crumbs. I'm so glad that this Super Bowl has given the people that want to cheer for teams a time to cheer. This is what you should be cheering. And sis boom ba rah rah rahing.
Yeah.
Not these leaders who are bloodthirsty, merciless packs of wolves that like literally make life or death choices. Okay. This is not the time to cheerlead and rah 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 sis boom ba, guys. That time is over. The time is over for pom-poms and the red and the blue. Rah rah rah. They're making life and death decisions, guys, and it's affecting us. Just to let y'all know. It's not you want to cheer for Tom Brady. Cheer for the Patriots. Cheer for the Buccaneers. Don't cheer for the Republicans and the Democrats, bro. They're terrorists. They're domestic terrorists. They want to call people domestic terrorists because of the insurrection, Fattah. I think they're the first domestic terrorists, honestly.
Yeah. You know, media is exactly what it is. You know, in Greek mythology, media or Medea, however you want to say it.
Yeah.
You know the story, right?
I do. It's tragic.
How was media used in Greek mythology in the story of the what's the story?
Refresh my memory, because all I remember is she kills her kids.
Yeah. So here it is. You have something that's being used to destroy your own children.
Yes. Okay.
You know, the media, the ideal situation is that the greater American citizenry be highly educated, highly sophisticated, wide awake.
Right.
But that's not what unfortunately, we are so behind in so many things.
Yeah.
Math, science, technology. So,
all education, yes, correct. Yeah. Logic and science are huge that we're not in. And that's why And that's why we haven't expanded our space exploration.
Mhm.
Elon Musk wants to do that. He wants to go to space. We don't have the logic and we don't have the science to do that. We literally don't have the logic. I know, because every person I talk to, propaganda comes out of their mouth and they don't even know propaganda comes out of their mouth. Whataboutism, red herrings, illogical statements constantly. You hear from everybody.
Right.
As a waiter, I know you know. You hear illogical statements every fucking day.
Before the election, listen, I'll tell you, walking up to the election,
yeah,
you can tell that. You can tell when it's campaign season.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody talking about it right now.
I know.
At work, just in the general thing, I'm not hearing people talk about it, but right at that time, see, but it makes sense though. See, ideally, the ideal situation would be that we'd be engaged politically at a very high level, starting from the local politics on up.
Correct. You're right.
But
have you taken a look at any of the local politics in the Dallas area? Because I have actually some candidates that I'm endorsing.
Shoot, I'm gonna be straight up honest with you.
You can. That's the place. Open-minded.
You know, in the area that I live in, I just moved over here. I was a little more in tune with what was going on when I was in Red Oak, when I lived in Oak Cliff. Out here,
Oak Cliff, District 8, Devontae Peters.
Yeah. I
actually did an interview with him, and I'll be playing it. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to.
He works at the Alkaline. What's that called? A shop called, you know what it is? Dr. Sebi's shop. The Alkaline.
Oh, okay. Yes, sir.
I walked in there and to do the interview, and I was like, I saw him, and I was like, this guy is the real deal. Like, he is the real deal. He lives it. He lives it and believes it. He's running for city council for Oak Cliff, District 8. So if anybody's in District 8, Oak Cliff, Devontae Peters. He is a good guy.
I do believe that this new time now, now that we're in the house and COVID is here, people are wanting to become more healthy, understand about alternative forms of medicine.
Correct.
Like would be their medicine, fasting, working out, staying healthy. So it's a prime time for those type of people to come out of the woodworks.
Right.
Because what you're saying is 100% right. When people are asleep, anybody can. Hell, the man who has one eye is king amongst the blind.
Yes, yes.
You see,
what movie was that?
Yeah.
Man. Was that one Minority Report, Tom Cruise?
Say it again.
What movie was that? Was that Minority Report?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good movie.
Very
Everybody
good.
runs. But you're right about that. So anything you want to talk about as far as Black excellence goes? Like, I really my pet peeve is just the neoliberals are taking because they feel like they're the ones who helped along the Black Lives Matter movement and kind of just like hinged on it like a parasite.
Right.
I feel like they're literally trying to take that and like trademark it, like white people do. Trademark it, copyright it, patent it, and property of. Property of neoliberals, Phil.
Right.
That's why Candace Owens is public enemy number one. She's doing copyright infringement. They own us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't like it at all. Okay. So it makes me even more unpopular. I honestly don't like to be unpopular. I'd like to grow my show. Okay. I would like everyone to love me. Okay. I'd like everybody to, watch my show. But there's some things going on that I am just not going to have. I really won't have it. I can't. It makes my skin crawl. Yeah. That's just one of the things. It's one of the things that does. What about you? What grinds your gears?
Well, Black excellence. I think that it's a good terminology.
Yeah.
It's like white excellence. There's no such thing necessarily as white excellence. Why do we need a Black excellence?
Poor people are just as smart as white kids. Don't you know that? You know the thing.
You know how, like, whenever the eagle is, whenever you endanger a species, they get all this special class status and whatnot, and you can't do nothing to it.
Right.
And then it's like, that's what's happening to Black people right now. People don't want to talk about what's really up with us.
Right.
As a server, and I have this discussion with several of my coworkers. It's when you see, and I remember I used to do this where we used to work. They'd ask me if I take an extra table. I'd ask the big question. I was like, are they white? Are they Black?
You got in trouble for that, bro. Remember that, David?
Yeah, I did. I'm always asked.
Yeah.
I'm always asked why. I'm always asked because generally, if you ask non-Black people, servers, how are they treated by Black patrons, you will get a very common answer.
What's that?
Answer. The general answer is,
do I really want to know?
They don't tip that well.
I know.
You
Sucks.
see, and so how would I look? And this is what I have quite a bit of success doing this because I want to change that.
Me too.
Anything I want to change as a result of my 8 years being in the service industry is when I say goodbye to the service industry, I'm going to go into service etiquette. And what I do to Black people is I'm not going to just say, make sure you tip me. I'm going to say, hi, my name is Fattah. I'm going to listen to you. Tell me what you want to eat and drink. And I'm going to bring it to you without making a mistake. Whatever you need, I'm going to give it to you. And at the end, you're going to give me a good tip. And you know what? I did that. I got $100.
Really? You actually said those words?
I said it, man. I said
wow. It. You are the one guy who could do that shit and not get fired, bro.
Because I'm on, and then others who are non-Black, they're like, that's true, but I can't say it. I said, I know you can't. No, or they'll look at me like, and I said, it's true.
You know that they'll throw you under the bus. Management will throw you under the bus in a minute, bro. If that guy complained, it would have been over for you. You know that, right?
Yeah. Being the risk taker that I am, but I do it in a comic fashion.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm really being serious.
I know. That's good. That's charming. That's the charm right there.
And so excellence, if we take the Black off of it, then it's not a personal thing. It's excellence is excellence. I had a table of all Black women. This was the night before. No, this was the night before last. This was Saturday night. And man, I had a Black family there who was a family, baseball playing family. Everyone's having a good time. Left me a real good tip. End of the night, young lady has a party. And, the oldest Black person, the oldest woman was, probably about 40, and everyone was a little bit lower. And then the very last people that came was a Black woman and her Indian boyfriend. And I thought to myself, wow, this is interesting. I said, maybe I'm going to get a good tip because of the presence of this Indian guy. However, you notice there's a certain type of complaining when it comes to money. The woman asked for a very expensive drink. She asked for a shot of Hennessy. And the restaurant I work at, the plate value is pretty high. So if you get a shot of anything, you're almost $15 in.
Right.
And she had an issue with the fact that it was $4 more than what I quoted her. And she said, well, this is going to come out of your tip.
I hate that joke.
And you know what I wanted to say?
What?
I wanted to say, keep your tip. Because if it's that much of an issue, then keep your money. I don't want to put you in any financial harm.
Right.
Because excellence would say, when you go to a high dollar restaurant, you don't have to try to change the wheel. A woman had a $25 ticket, a $23.30. She gave me $25 and expected me to give her the money back. And then they were talking about me while I wasn't there because I got people listening to them.
Yeah.
And there were white women who were listening to him, and they reported back to me everything they said about me. And so I'm going to give you good service, regardless to what you say about me. You're not going to disrespect me and think I'm going to come back, though, because I've done that before. And then not with Black people. I've done it with other people who have been disrespectful to me.
Right.
So we will become excellent when we become excellent in terms of a standard that everyone is excellent by. Everyone is excellent.
How do we get there? How do we get there?
We have to observe the ruling class. How do they treat people? They treat people, give them. I mean, I've had wealthy people. I've served wealthy people, and of course, they got all kind of money. They could easily be disrespectful, but I've rarely had a wealthy person be disrespectful, because I've noticed that wealthy people are highly respectful of other people. Now, when you're at work, that's different, because you have to be a certain way with the people that you work with. But on average, when you have little, you give little. When you have a lot, you give a lot. That's why you have it, because you have
a little bit, give a little bit of my love for you.
We have to practice the basics, which is learning to love ourselves and our neighbors. Show respect.
Oh my God.
You know,
I know.
With just simple
It's the first
stuff.
thing Jesus said, too.
Yeah.
Love your neighbor as yourself, man.
10%, 10, 15, 20% tip. Just give up the money. When me and Jennifer take the children out, over tip.
Yeah.
Because it's a part of, you want people, when they see me and my family, I want them to know this man, this Black man, is going to leave a good tip.
Right.
And
I agree.
That's all it is.
Leading by example. That's what you're saying, pretty much.
Because we really have to change the way other people look at us. We're the type of person where somebody can say, if you don't vote for me, you're not Black. Right.
We are, and we like it.
That's who we are.
It's not fun.
That's who we are, man. We are the bottom caste of society.
Right.
That's not where we should be. But we should be there until we change it. We should be comfortable being here until we change it.
Right.
You know.
So I think you and me are going to work on changing that a lot.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You know, and we can start, like me, I like starting where I work at. I like teaching about learning how to give a good tip. It's just general stuff.
Right.
You get enough people doing it, hey, next thing you know, next 5 years down the road, Tommy, we're going to be different. But these young Black people coming up, man, I'll be excited to see them, man, because they're on something new right now. Right. Yeah, they're on something new now. And
what's that? Is that Waka Flocka Flame? What you kids on right now? Y'all on that Waka Flocka?
They on some new stuff right now, man. So it's like literally, the world can go in any direction now, man.
Yeah. I can't wait. I hope they're as fed up as we are. I hope it continuously builds.
Yeah.
So, and yeah. So we're gonna have a good Black History Month, I think. You should come on. You should come on more. I'll have a show on Tuesday if you want to come on then, or anytime. But
look here, just let me. You know where I'm at 4 to 9.
Yeah.
When I get home, this is prime time for me to be up at it, because I love talking to you. I love building with you, hearing your ideas, and listening to your viewpoint.
We're it. Okay, yeah. The boomer. It's our time now.
That's right.
It's our time. It's our time to rule, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And we got some good music coming out too.
That's right.
I can't wait to show everyone. So, guys, if y'all do these 3 magical things, you can be a Black excellence too, or just excellence, like we were talking about. Be free thinking, innovative, totally open-minded. Tommy Nation Politics.